We're just coming into Adelaide. We're on a little holiday, and as you can see by the background, we've got something a little bit different. We've got my little camper van on the back. We're coming into Adelaide. We're going to see me mate down Adelaide, and then we're going to go through Strathalbyn, Langorns Creek, Wellington, and probably stop tonight on the Coorong somewhere, possibly 42 Mile Crossing on the Coorong, and then we're going to go down to Victoria along the Shipwreck coast, have a look a bit down there, potter around a bit, and possibly come back through Renmark and back home. But we're going to spend a time down there along the Shipwreck coast of Victoria. So that's what we're up against this time. That's what this trip's all about. The Shipwreck coast of Victoria. So, left this morning at 7:30. It's now 9:45, and coming into Adelaide. Want to spend some time near the sea, not the Clayton Sea near Port Pirie, but the real ocean down near Port Campbell, places like that. Probably camp at a place called Nelson, just inside of Victoria.
Plane receiver Vixen 20. 1 Kilo 14. Email posted at Uncle.
Good morning.
Talking about.
How are you? This is my mate Hayden, and that's Carolyn. Carolyn's a famous ABC photographer, and Hayden there is L50614. He's a famous shortwave listener and eavesdropper. Say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
I brought some cakes, and we're going to eat some cakes.
Good morning, Dave, and good signal from you.
Just coming down into Strathalbyn. Where you going?
Oh. Have you had lunch?
Coming up to a little place called Belvedere. Used to be a horse changing stop with a pub for the stagecoach, when the stagecoaches used to run to Victoria. Now it's at the moment it's getting a bit of a second lease of life as a sort of a retreat housing development. There's quite a few houses coming back. It's becoming a little bit of a grape growing area, Belvedere, along with Langhorne Creek. It's being developed as a bit of a vineyard area in conjunction with the Barossa. Just past a wine treatment area back further at Belvedere Corner. There's new areas going under vines all the time. Here's a new area getting set up. Formerly farmland, growing wheat or grazing cattle, is now being turned into viticulture area, growing grapes. Here's a place called Woodburn Alpacas. Originally it was a place owned by Matthew Rankin, one of the early settlers to the district. It was a grand old house in its time, and until I was about 5 or 6 years old, that's where I lived. We just passed the Bleasdale Winery at Langhorne Creek. Here's some of the vines where your wine comes from, Ed. But it's a beautiful drive through here. The vines have been here a fair while. They get most of their nutrients from the flooding of the Bremer River, which floods out along the floodplain all around here when it comes down. Very pretty area. We'll continue on to Wellington and cross the mighty Murray. There in the distance you see Lake Alexandrina. We're now heading towards Wellington, which is on the Murray, the lowest town down on the Murray before it hits the lake. Lake Alexandrina, I think it's the largest body of fresh water, or the largest surface area body of fresh water in Australia. Not very deep out there. There's a few whitecaps there out there today on the water. Perhaps they need the Coast Guard. So we just missed the ferry. Have to wait till the next one. Oh, he's opened up for me. Very good of him, isn't it? This is Lake Albert, which is the small lake next to Lake Alexandrina, hanging off of Lake Alexandrina, and this, we're at Meningie. Lake. Gateway to Coorong. And I just thought, well, you haven't seen the caravan from this, so that's it there. Continue on to Coorong. And this is what they call the Coorong. It's a sort of a tongue of very saline water between the mainland here and the sea. The sea's on the other side of those sand dunes on the other end. But we're going to camp tonight at a place called 42 Mile Crossing, which is actually down here, and we actually cross over the end of the Coorong and we'll camp in the last sand dunes over there before the sea. You can hear the sea at night time from there, so that should be good. It's a beautiful drive along here, very scenic. A lot of people the drive along here is boring, but I reckon it's beautiful to see the lake there and all the pelicans and seagulls on it. Absolutely magnificent. Beautiful, absolutely magnificent. We're at 42 Mile Crossing. We're in luxury accommodation here on the 42 Mile Hilton, and we're cooking tea, and we can really go mad tonight. We've got mushrooms, snow peas, and I've cut up some shallots, and we're going to bang them in the fry pan here. And later on we're going to put in some chicken patties and a little bit of what have we got here? A little bit of Worcestershire, perhaps a little bit of soy, and we're cooking in that at the moment, olive oil, and we'll see how that goes. And look at that, eh? We'll put our mushrooms in first. I suppose I should put the shallots in first, shouldn't I? But we'll just let the mushrooms sweat down a bit. And we've got everything that opens and shuts in this place. And would you believe it? When I bring the caravan, I don't reckon there's a single fly here. Didn't need to. Got the door open, see that? No flies in here. But we could really cook up something special tonight, can't we, eh? See how that's coming together? That's turning out real good, isn't it? Look at that. That is turning out absolutely magnificent. I'm going to do a bit of meat with that. And that's going to be absolutely... Sorry, Michelle, about the meat, but the old intrepid explorer needs his meat. Look at that. That's turning out... I reckon I could do a Margaret Fulton on this one. That's turning out real good. And you know what? That even tastes right, you know. Have a look at that, isn't that? I'll just switch the radio off. No telly here. Have a look at that. Isn't that absolutely magnificent? Have a look at that. You could not wish for a better meal. So the old intrepid explorer eats well on day one. Good morning. We had a beautiful, peaceful night's sleep last night, but it was a little bit chilly. It was what they call a three-dog night last night. It was bloody cold, I tell you. I woke up this morning, there's no flies. There's no flies at that spot, so it's a good little spot for you. There you are, 42-mile crossing. We're on our way to Kingston at the moment. We'll go to Robe, Beachport, and then on to Nelson. I'll put my finger on the map. I'll show you that later on. Might put that on. We'll put that on later on when we get to Kingston. I'll show you the map and I'll tell you where we've been and where we're going to go. No, everything went all right. Nothing broken in the caravan, and nothing forgotten. So it's all good with the world, isn't it, eh? I guess that means we're in Kingston. Here's a map of where we went. We went from Port Pirie down there to Port Wakefield down home, one to Adelaide. Saw my mate in Adelaide, and then we went out up to Mount Barker, and then we went down to Strathalbyn there and the screen there. Then we went around the top of the lake to Wellington. We crossed the Murray of Wellington, and we went down to Meningie, saw Lake Albert there. Then we went along the Coorong, past Salt Creek to a place called, just past the Chinaman's Ruin there. That's where we camped, a place called 42 Mile Crossing. We've now gone down the coast here. We're now at Kingston on the southeast. We're going to go down to Robe, then we're going to go down to Beachport, then we're going to duck up to Mount Gambier, and then from Mount Gambier we're going to go down to a little place down there. Little place there called Nelson. So we're at Kingston now, and every now and again along here they got beach access where you can get to the beach. This is sort of the shack area along here. This is Cape Jaffa, and there's the end of the jetty. A few boats out there. But I didn't realise that they had some fish pens there at Cape Jaffa. turned a little cold here lately. Jacket on. Out there and more out there. Looks like they must be doing some aquaculture. I was talking to a chappie at Cape Jaffa, nice little caravan park at Cape Jaffa and jetty, and crayfish season's just open. He said they're busy. In the aquaculture cages was Atlantic salmon. He said there was Atlantic salmon in there. That's what they breed up. And he was saying that this is a nice warm day down at Cape Jaffa. He says it's a very calm day today. He reckons sometimes it's a little windy, but he said it's a very calm, warm day today down at Cape Jaffa. And finally we get a bit of proper sea. There's some big waves coming in there. Still at Robe, they're obviously going to lift the yacht out the water there. Beautiful little protected harbour here. Little harbour here. And the only way in the harbour is through that narrow channel there. Robe's a pretty little spot, isn't it? Beachport. Said to be the only deep sea port between Melbourne and Adelaide. There's the jetty. Quite an active fishing industry down here. And there's the town nestled in there. Looking in the other direction, we're on a little peninsula of land here on the scenic drive through Beachport. Quite spectacular. Must be a bar across the inlet there, because it's quite calm inside the bay itself by Beachport. Absolutely magnificent. We're at Mount Gambier on a little tourist drive up here. There's the Blue Lake. Fairly windy little road up here. Mount Gambier is this whole thing here is as an extinct volcano, and contains a couple of crater lakes up here. The little stone wall up here looks very interesting, doesn't it? There's the Blue Lake down there. Quite spectacular, really. Quite spectacular. Beautiful and quiet, isn't it? It's about 7:30 local time. This is the caravan park in Nelson. The little annex is working well. Got it all set up. No, everything worked alright. Everything worked out. Got my table set up there. I'm cooking tea. Shut the door. What do we got here? We got patties again, because that's the meat I've opened. I've cut up my celery because that won't keep much longer, and I'll put in some mushrooms. So there's celery, mushrooms and patties. I'm going to have that with a bit of bread, that'll be good. And there's me larder. My larder's still going alright. Got a bit, ooh, look. I won't have them tomorrow. And I managed to rig up an aerial outside to pick up the telly. But all it's been on so far is cartoons, so it's been real good, eh? And I think I'll be going on this tomorrow. I'll just zoom in. I'm going on a... see if I can go on a river cruise tomorrow. Up the Glenelg River. And we might even be able to see the caves, eh? Anyway, had a good run today, and set up here. I'll leave the van here. I've booked it in for 5 days, and I'll potter around a bit. Go on the cruise tomorrow if I can, and potter around a bit, and might sleep a couple of nights in the car. I might go down the... I want to go down the Shipwreck coast and see the Great Ocean Road. Good morning. It's a wet, cold, miserable day today, and at the moment we're just taking a little drive in the Lower Glenelg National Park, which is what Nelson's all about, is the place for the park. So we're driving along here. Quite verdant. It's a good word, isn't it? Rained on and off all last night. Very windy and blowy this morning too. We'll go down and have a look at the surf later on. Don't know if we're down for that river cruise today or not. We'll have to go and see about that, won't we? Just walking along here on one of the little walking trails. Gee, they grow big when you give them a bit of water, don't they? As you walk along, there's little birds coming up, and you hear the thump, thump, thump back in the trees of Euros jumping around, wallabies. and the wind's still whistling through the trees up ahead, but it's very still down here. A bit like a rainforest, isn't it? Well, I suppose that's what it is, really. There in the background is the Glenelg River. Here's the forest. Absolutely magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. I don't know if you can hear the birds singing. This is the pathway over the last sand dune to Discovery Bay. Discovery Bay is the bay that Nelson's on. This is just down from Nelson. Beautiful view from up here, eh? There's a bit of the heathland. Look down there. Beautiful little flowers and that all down here. Not bad, is it? Fairly windy up here though. This is Discovery Bay, just outside of Nelson. This is the Southern Ocean in all its glory. Very cold and windy here. But very picturesque nevertheless. That's looking back towards Nelson there and the Glenelg River. Due to my fishing prowess, it's no doubt what we're having for tea tonight. Hamburgers. And I'm going to cook up some sort of spud to go with that. So that's what we've got. Hamburgers and spud. I've got a map set up here. There's Melbourne up there. Here's where we are here. Got a place called Nelson there. Tomorrow we're going to come down the coast here to Portland. Then we're going to come around here to Warrnambool. Once we get to Warrnambool, we're going to come down here to Port Campbell, which is here. Then we're going to go down along the coast here. The coast is called Shipwreck Coast. We'll go down to about there. Then we'll cut back here, up through here, to a little town up there called Timboon. Probably spend the night at Timboon, and then we'll cut back here through here, come back through Warrnambool, Portland, and then back up here, back to Nelson tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So that's what we're up against. That's Victoria. That's Victoria there. There's Melbourne. That's where we are there, up there. We're going to travel down the coast there to there. Then up to Timboon and then back home again, back home to Nelson. saw this kangaroo sitting in front of my car. He's quite happy there, isn't he? I'm sitting here waiting for the skid, waiting for Ed to start up on the radio. I saw this kangaroo come on.
We've got a full moon here. It's going to be cold tonight. They've got frost warnings out, would you believe? Frost warnings out. After the 30 odd degrees we had the other day, mate, it's seemingly back to winter. QSL. Yeah,
it was cold last night. It was fairly cold last night. Never mind, we survived, Ed, we survived. Ours, I should have a bit of better propagation this evening. I should have a bit better propagation of... I'm outside the caravan park. I'm sitting on top of a hill. I'm sitting on top of a hill for you, Ed, so you're going to have to give me a couple of better signal points than last night. How do you copy? Back to you.
Yes, I recognise that straight away. So you think I can give you a serious 5x8, 5x9, QSL?
Yeah, no worries, Ed. But is that a good signal in your book yet, or I still got to try harder?
You don't really have to try harder. You are just touching the red. You're into the cherry patch. There's no doubt about that. Yes, sounds nice, mate. You must have a reasonable sort of a location there, mate. Oh, you're not forgetting yourself 50614 Hayden that way. And Julia Mike, Dad's on the side listening. TP, QSL?
Yeah, no worries. Your dad's listening on the side. All right. You mean to say I've got to bring him home a bottle of red now or something, QSL? We're on our way to Portland and then to the Shipwreck coast down at Port Campbell. Last night I made a bit of a mistake. I left my GPS on. So that's just about the end of my track logger. My track logger actually memorises my position on the Earth's surface every 2 minutes. So doing that for 12 hours last night, it chewed through about 80% of the memory I've got for the track logger in the car. So that's virtually the end of the track logger for the rest of the trip. I could always erase it and start again, but oh well. The little bit of memory that is left, I'm using that sparingly, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, good sleep last night. Very cold again, very cold down here for some reason. Don't know why. But we got to sleep in the car tonight because there's no way I don't think I can make it back in one day. So, yes, we'll see what today brings. I must make a correction. This is Portland, and this is the only deep sea port between Melbourne and Adelaide. Not bloody beach port. Made a bit of an error there, didn't I, eh? But obviously it's a deep sea port because there's a deep sea ship. Port's obviously open to the ocean, so they build this breakwater there. Well, we've finally reached part of the Great Ocean Road, and this spot's called the Bay of Islands. As you can see, it's nothing that we're quite unused to seeing at Pirrie. Beautiful bit of rugged coastline, eh? See this sort of surf all the time at Salawi Beach. Absolutely beautiful. I could watch that stuff all day. Absolutely magnificent. This is a place called the Grotto. We're at a place called London Bridge. Apparently that used to have another span across there, and rumour has it there was a Volkswagen parked out there when that collapsed. I reckon it's a bit of poetic justice myself. They should have left the damn thing there. Anyway, London Bridge. Half of London Bridge anyway. Oh, this is nothing. You should see Talawi Beach when there's an easterly running. It's just like this. This place is called The Arch. Quite dramatic. I keep getting salt water on my lens, I don't know why. At Port Campbell, bought some fish and chips for lunch. There's more tourists going along this route than locusts in the north of Australia. I reckon the further I get towards Melbourne, the more locusts I'm going to get. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have my lunch here at Port Campbell. I'm going to go down and have a look at the 12 apostles. And then start back. I'll have a look at Timboon. Beautiful country here. Beautiful coastline. There's a lot of people though. I didn't realise out of season there'd be so many people here, but there we go. My food recommendation for this trip is fish and chips from the Port Campbell takeaway. There it is up there. Okay, that's my I must admit I had fish and chips yesterday for dinner too. Fish and chips, Port Campbell takeaway. Okay. I can't imagine a more exposed jetty around the place. Even the one at Elliston's not as exposed as this. I suppose you'd launch your boat and you'd go straight out into it. This is the Loch Arc Gorge. After the name of the boat that came to grief here one evening. shrouded by mist. It just headed in and there was nothing they could do.
Yeah, it's a crash. It's alright.
One tour bus goes, another tour bus arrives, and the tour bus is already here. Very popular spot. Fairly popular little tourist attractions, aren't they? I can't imagine what they'd be during school holiday weekend or something like that. They would be packed. That last place, the 12 Apostles, they're actually building a bloody motel there. So I've turned back now. I'm heading back to Port Campbell, and then we'll head up to a little town on the map called Timboon. We're going to try and take a look at the railway bridge at Timboon. Then we'll head back to civilization. Pretty as a picture, isn't it? We're out here outside of Timboon in Victoria. One thing I've noticed about all the creeks in Victoria, unlike South Australian creeks, these all got water in them, and at the moment these are all flowing quite well. This is called the railway bridge outside of Timboon. I like to call it the Hayden Carolyn Twining Bridge because my mate was up here and they were staying a while, and they thought it was a good idea to walk out from town along the railway line because they said there was a bridge out here. They walked about 6 or 7 kilometres out of town. Of course they had to walk back again. They didn't realise that there's a damn road that comes out here that cars us right under the bridge. They found that out when they got here, but that wasn't any good for them. This is supposed to be the largest wooden span bridge west of the Mississippi. So it's an old disused railway line bridge. They've stopped the Intrepid Explorer from climbing on it, but that doesn't stop us. It usually does it, but they got it all wired off. They can't climb it anymore. There's the old Nissan Dowdy. Still running. Just about got bogged in the middle of Timboon. Had to do a U-turn and just about got bogged on the edge of the street. But yeah, this is a magic spot. Absolutely magnificent. The area around Timboon looks exactly like just out of Strath towards Mount Barker, doesn't it? Looks exactly the same. It's all dairying around here, all dairy cattle everywhere, and you can just about smell them all through town, all dairy cattle. We're on our way now, it's about 4 o'clock. We're on our way back to Warrnambool, and then we might even make it all the way back to Nelson. Right? It's going to make a hell of a night of it, isn't it? We might see how things pan out. Pretty little spot, Timboon. See, there's some cattle over there. Not long now. Not long before we're back home. Back to the Hilton. Good morning, it's another day. We're going for a little walk here. In the bush. I think that's what's called a feral cat. Beautiful walk through here this morning. It's called the Sapling Creek Walk in the Glenelg National Park. Push, push, push. You'd be getting a fair amount of food here. We're well above the water line. The car's back at the water line. The creek's just down there. You can see the creek in the distance between the foliage. There's an old Chinese saying that goes, if a tree falls in a forest and nobody hears it and nobody sees it, did it really fall? Well, yes, it did fall. There it is there. That tree fell in the forest. Nobody saw it, nobody heard it, but certainly did fall, didn't it? Beautiful little things, aren't they? Everywhere you look, there's little flowers growing. They're only very small though, but they're all very beautiful, aren't they? Let's not even forget the old favourite. This is the first one I've seen out in flower, the old waratah. Absolutely beautiful. The ferns are beautiful too, even the young ones. Absolutely magnificent. But the most beautiful thing here has to be the little bush orchid type of thing there. Absolutely magnificent. Absolutely beautiful little flowers. Even the old gelatin wax gets a mention. Absolutely beautiful. Do you see the film Deliverance? We're walking out on the outlet of the Glenelg River towards the outlet for the sea. You can see the sea rearing up its ugly head over there. You can see the water's still stained with tannin out the leaves. The Glenelg River starts in the Grampian Ranges and runs all the way to the sea here. Fairly windy today. Jayco today apparently. At the moment. And the Glenelg River comes around there. It's still going dark. You see the green of the seawater there. And starting to mix with the seawater there, going in and out with the tide, waves and that. And finally, He goes out to sea there. Great stuff, eh? Not big rollers coming in today. The wind's blowing from behind me, so not big rollers today. I made a bit of a blue on one of my early videos too. I thought that was the footprint of an emu, but it's not. It's the footprint of a kangaroo. There's the next hop. And the next hop. The next hop. And so on. All the way down the beach. See him there? Kangaroo footprints. Good morning. It's another day. We're at a place here called Carpenter's Rocks. Very scenic. Very scenic. And it's a hell of a harbour. See over there, the rocks themselves that Mr. Carpenter built. And you have a look up there, you see the little blowhole. Every now and again it spouts like a whale. Of course it's not going to do it to the camera for me. There it is. Beautiful. And it's a hell of a trip in here for the boats. They've got a little protected area here. All they can come over that bar there. They just anchor here. This is facing the full force of the Southern Ocean. I've been to Port MacDonald. That's a little bit the same, that they've built a dirty great big breakwater that up there. There's a little cove here they can put their boats in. You almost get seasick just watching it, don't you? I was coming along the road here and I thought I better get out and have a look and see what the road's like. I still haven't locked the hubs, but I was coming along here and there was a warning back there that sometimes the road gets a bit boggy. So I thought I'd better get out and have a look. It goes around the corner there and God knows where it goes from there. Out from Carpenter's Rocks, I wanted to go in and have a look at Lake Bonnie, but apparently the four-wheel drive track's a bit muddy. There's no real mistaking Mount Gambier, is there? You're going along, it's just undulating countryside, flat plains. You end up with this striking looking mountain in front of you. And Mount Gambier is on the far side of that. And when we went up and had a look at the lake, we was right up near that tower. The roads actually come up and wind through there. There's no real mistaking Mount Gambier, is there? What is it about this name that gives us such fascinations? Right, tonight we're having OD sausages, and we're going to fry up a little onion. I've just put some chili flakes in that. Some chili flakes, and going to fry that up, and we're going to bang in some chopped up potato. Oh, you're wondering what OD sausages? OD sausages is out of date sausages. That's what they are. And I've done them with soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce. In there, and that's going to come up a treat. I've decided to give one more go at having a trip on the Nelson Explorer. It's running tomorrow. Tomorrow being Saturday, I should get a couple of people to go on. Last time I went to go on, I was the only one there, and they said, "Oh, we need 8 before we run." Sorry. And they didn't run yesterday, and they don't run with Tuesdays, and they don't run when there's a full moon. But today being Friday the 13th, well, tomorrow they probably run. So we're cooking up that. That's coming up real good, isn't it? That's just done good there. Then bang in some potato. And that's going to come up alright. Alrighty. Yes. Well, if I don't get on the boat tomorrow, I might just do a bit of fishing. Otherwise, I think I've got 6 hours on my licence fishing tomorrow. I can fish for 6 hours tomorrow. And you know that you have to buy a licence to fish in Victoria, isn't it good? So I bought a 24-hour fishing licence, 48-hour fishing licence for $5, I think it was. I think Mr. Kennett saw me coming, didn't he? Anyway, we'll do that. Cook that up till they're nice and brown, and we'll have it with our OD sausages. Who could ask for more? Look at that. Look, it comes up beautiful, doesn't it? And with the rain spitting on the roof, who could ask for more? Good morning, it's another day. I was going to be leaving this morning, but I'm staying here another day now. Tell you what, if this rain keeps up, I might stay here another couple of days too. It would have been a better all morning to pack the van up, eh? We'll see what happens today. We'll see what happens. It stopped raining. We're on our way to the park around Portland. There's a bit of a Discovery Bay park around Portland. We're going to have a bit of look around there. There's a spot here in the park near Portland called the Petrified Forests, and there used to be trees here, and the sand went around the trees and it formed calcium deposits around the tree roots, and then of course the tree roots and that, or the tree trunks and roots rotted away, leaving what's there. Interesting, eh? There's the more of the tree formations. You could probably hear it behind me as I was filming the tree formations. I'm right next to the coast here, and this is the only spot where it's not windy. It's fairly windy around the corner. There's another spot down there called the Blowhole. We'll go and see that in a minute, eh? I don't think you can realise how cold and windy it is here. Oh, Southern Ocean, she's a little bit... Oh, dear, I've got water all over the camera. There's spray coming up over me. It's cold. It's windy. Absolutely magnificent, isn't it, eh? Ship out there getting tossed around in the water. Very rugged coast here. Very rugged, absolutely magnificent. I'm getting there's a sort of a horizontal rain of salt water at the moment. That's where we were standing before, there. And we were getting that salt water spray up from the cliffs there. Absolutely magnificent coastline. Absolutely magnificent. I pity anyone trying to put the sea in that. Well, here we are. We're at actually at the wharf at Portland, and this is called the Trawler's Wharf. Boat on the other side has all these light bulbs strung up around it. I reckon it's a squid boat or something like that. And it started to rain. Got a little sea eagle there. Perched on top of the rock. Tell you what, he's back again. I don't know what he's doing in there. He knows I'm here. remember that ship we saw near the blowholes? There she is out there. This is off Cape Nelson near Portland. Fairly large bay here. There's Portland over there. And these are reputed to be the highest cliffs this side of the Mississippi. It's a fair way down there. This is the lighthouse at Cape Nelson. I'll give you a proper look at it in a minute. It's a beautiful white. It's very high. Very windy here today. So there's a proper look at the lighthouse. Picture postcard stuff, isn't it? Just looking the other way, there's a little hut there and a lighthouse keeper's accommodation over there. Little weather vane up there on the right. Here's the inside of the light, and we're going to go upstairs apparently.
Go upstairs.
Walls.
123 steps to the top.
Oh, that's not many when you count them one after the other. We're near the top.
There we are. 12 steps to the lantern room.
Oh, you got a bit of stuff up here now. Here's the lantern there. Here's your spare bulb.
Yeah, main light up there. Fresnel lens.
They're beautifully made, aren't they?
Yeah. Lens was valued at 1.3 million when it was installed in '87.
That's candle power.
No, dollars.
Oh,
Valued at $1.3 million. This one. Replacement cost today $4 million. All hand cast crystal and hand polished, hand positioned. Known as a Fresnel, F-R-E-S-N-E-L. Invented by the Fresnel brothers in 1798.
looks a lot bigger up here than what it does.
It's a bit confusing, a bit misleading, isn't it? Yeah. So these days, or since 1987, it works simply. Light sensor up there.
Play it.
And turns the power on at sunset, turns it off at sunrise. When it turns on, the vertical globe lights up.
Yeah.
If that fails, the sensors pick it up and the other one will stand by, the angle one rocks into place. The turn target revolves 3 times per minute. The globes are 1,000 watt quartz halogen. They're only canvas baffles. What's really happening is that through the bullseyes in the lens, the light is being
Makes it blink.
maximised up to 608,000 candle watt power, and it punches 4 flashes out every 20 seconds, 30 kilometres out to sea. And the shipping industry recognised that as 38 degrees 26 south, 141 33 east, with all the seconds. But of course it's metric now, and I can't remember that.
I don't know whether you can hear me, but it's very, very windy up here.
Let's go Bridgewater out there. The Antarctic 3,000 k's down there.
Yeah.
Just over here, and 50 metres away. It's the site of the oldest shipwreck on the whole coast. It's the Isabella.
Well, this one here.
Just here, yeah. Just in this little cove. It's March 31,
They nearly made it around.
Yeah.
What year was that?
1837.
Let's go back. It's a bit better on this side.
This is the lightkeeper's quarters.
That's the one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he used to have 2 assistants who lived in that
Compound.
duplex.
Yeah.
And this building down here was originally the stables workshop.
That's that one there. Yep.
And now it's a cafe.
Yep.
And the little building which is Right on the corner is a rebuild of the old schoolroom. And in its new life, it's an office storeroom toilet.
Would have been fairly remote.
Smelter out on the horizon, you can see that there, the Alcoa smelter.
Yeah, that's the one over there.
Yeah, sort of the third best smelter that Alcoa have got in the world in terms of its productivity and performance with EPA requirements and all that stuff.
Been a job to build it, wouldn't it?
Oh. What do you think of it? 45 tradesmen came out from Edinburgh in 1882-83. In that period, they quarried the stone from two different sites, one 9, the other 13 kilometres away, dragged it here through the bush, they built the tower, the two houses, that building, and the walls, and originally there was a 450 millimetre wall running down to there. All in 18 months.
What's the idea of the walls?
Wind was to slow down the warring Gunditjmara. It was a local Aboriginal community fighting against the white man for a long time.
That would have been here too. Yeah. That would have been a little fortress, in other words.
Yeah, exactly. Out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. It's easy these days. It's only 15 minutes out of town.
Well, I can't imagine them building this up here.
It's amazing, isn't it? And all the steel, all cast, all the stairs, everything, all cast in
That would have been brought from England?
Brought from Scotland.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're coming back through Portland, and down here at the wharf I'm standing on the breakwater at Portland. A couple of big boats here. Must be loading up wood chip. A few cars down here. We're all sitting here watching the boat come in. Big ship out there. It's come in and it's swung right around, and now it's coming into harbour. Quite majestic. Still fairly windy here today. Be a bit of a struggle to bring in something like that, I should imagine. Good morning. It's Sunday today, and I packed up the van early this morning. I woke up at about 6 o'clock, and I've left the park at about 7, and on my way. I'm finally in God's own country, South Australia. I've left Victoria to the Victorians, and we're on our way back. I'm hoping to spend the night tonight at 42 Mile Crossing again, the same spot as I spent last Sunday night. So that should be good, eh? Yes, rained a bit last night, dried out just enough for me to pack up the tent, but it's a beautiful day today. The sun is shining and the birds are singing.
Over the years, there's been a lot of theories, but none of them proven. There's still quite a lot of place. See, nice. Children of, yeah, that's what children often say. He's got his hair nicely grown. And see where the light is now. There's one there that goes out to the side, and the one on the bottom goes up. And the other one like that is down here. This one's a little bit closer, so it is easy to see that the same thing, one out and one up. And a lot more of the dolomite up there, the reddish brown, and there's a dolomite quarry just past the reserve as you go towards Mount Gambier, and the rock that they take out of there, they send it over to Victoria and they make it into glass. And that's mainly used for the windows of our cars. And dolomite's got a lot of magnesium in it, so they do use it for steel making. It's good to crush it up and put it on your land or your garden if you've got a deficiency there, or you can buy it in a health food shop and take it. And that's just a few things, there's lots of other uses for dolomite, many, many different things. And the longest straw that we've got is that one up there. And you'd think if anything was going to break, something as fragile as that one would. But with all the blasting they do in the quarry, and a lot of work done here, and they took up the 300 tonne of rock, I mean, they've never came in and found any that's broken up and lying on the floor. I mean, it's brittle, and it's very easy to break, but if it's left alone, they really are quite strong. And it's dry, and it really doesn't matter how long it dries on the arm, that area is always good. And that's that other area, that's silky grey. I'll shine it through from the other side so you can see if you like. See the colour?
Oh yeah, it looks calcium like in terms of the soil.
Skulls, yeah. And that one only has water on it for a few weeks each year, right at the end of the summer. It's a bit like the ones on the back wall over here, in that little section there. I mean, they're wet for longer, but still only during the summer. In the winter time, they're normally quite dry. It sounds strange, but that's the way that they do it.
Drips here.
Yeah, there's quite a few drips around here. Around here in that little points, quite a lot of them have got drips on them. So it's only the shore and that little area on the back wall there that is, dry in the winter months, but they're wet. I think they're wet. It really brings out all the different colours. That's about all I can show you. Any other questions you'd like to ask?
That's great. It's really a small area.
It really is. We get a lot of nice comments from people that's been in a lot of different parts. I think it is because there's so much. Yeah, a lot of people start like it.
What time did you last do ago?
You missed that by 10 minutes.
We thought they must have been on the hour at the 15 past.
Yeah, see, in the morning they 15 the hour, and in the afternoon they change over to on the hour.
That's all right. We had to give in the forest.
Such a small Thank you very much for coming.
There's one of the local timber mills here coming into Millicent. We called in at Tandula Caves on the way through, and we went back, and I was allowed to run the video on this one. So I got a few shots in there, absolutely magnificent. It's only a small cave, much smaller than the Margaret Rose caves, but very spectacular, as you will agree. We're on our way to Millicent, just out of Millicent now. This is the that wood mill we saw was Kimberly Clark. And there's the sign there, it says Kimberly Clark Australia Proprietor Limited, Millicent Mill. Smells of beautiful pine here. Smells of pine all around here, I don't know why. We'll head to Beachport then and Road, and then Kingston. Come back up the coast the same way we come down, eh? Here we are back at Beachport. He's just bringing in the catch of the day. That's a lot of crazy shipping. Back going through Robe. That's quite a large boat he's got there, isn't it? I couldn't pass through Kingston without partaking of the winner of the 1999 Fish and Chip Award. Now, as you know, the food on this trip is fish and chips. So, when you're down Kingston way, drop into the fish and chip shop, eh? It's getting near evening again. Look how that beautiful. I've camped at 42 Mile Crossing, exactly the same spot as it was 7 days ago, and they got a walkway here to the beach. And I've driven to the beach before, but couldn't be blowed, so I thought I'd better walk off the big dinner I had today and walk to the beach. So a bit different from the just about rainforest stuff we was in before. We're more or less in just coastal heathland now. Well, that's where the walkway ends up, and that's where the driveway ends up when you drive the car. Here we are at 42 Mile Crossing. It's about the 5th time I've been here. But you see, this being a Sunday, all the nice little yahoos have been boring up and down the beach in their cars, as they will do. And there you go, that's what they've been doing in here. And you got this magnificent sea view here. Have a look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Go around the other way. It goes right down that way to Kingston. A few more tracks over there where people can drive along. But the whole beach is made up of these things, which makes it a little bit difficult to drive along sometimes, but there you go. Just all these shells, look at that. They look damp, but really that's just a coating of salt that's on them. Must do your car a lot of good. Oh dear. And there's a beautiful few waves here. Like I said, I've been here a couple of times now. This is the second time I've walked here. First time since I put that little walkway in for you. Good of them to think of the intrepid explorer, isn't it? I found this lovely Cocky's ice magic container, and you can see it doesn't take long to the old barnacles to take a bit of a hold onto something like this. They put their little there, and they held them quite close. Look at that. Anyway, what we're going to do with this, we can actually put him back in the water so he got a chance, the barnacle's got a bit of a chance, so we'll just throw him back in the water, eh? Have a look at the colour in that. Absolutely beautiful. Got the sand dunes up ahead. Have a look at that. Absolutely magnificent. I've seen these a few times. Whatever they are. They're all out. Beautiful walk back through here. Sun's going down up there, so they look their best, eh? Got some sandwiches, some salad, tonight for tea. Had a good day today. I didn't think I was going to call in and see those caves, but had a bit of time this morning, so we did. They were good, eh? And I didn't think I was going to walk to 42 Mile Crossing either. I just started off, and that's where I ended up. Been a good run. Oh, my petrol card seems to have expired, so the man down at Kingston wouldn't get me any petrol on my card, so I'll have to ring him up and have words with the people, won't I? Have to have words with the people from Shell. I think they've cancelled my card. So we'll sleep here tonight. It's going to be beautiful and quiet here tonight. There's just someone in a, there's another people in a caravan up there. They look as if they've been here since 1812. and we'll stay here tonight. Running on 12 volts for the lighting off of the car. I actually prefer staying in places like this because no noise, eh? But then again, we've got no telly here either. We've got radio.
The colour is important because the right brain responds very much to colour. And if
can't choose what we pick up on the radio though, can we?
And a few major points about
we'll see you in the morning.
And another major character in another.
Good morning. We're on our way home. We're at left this morning at about 6 o'clock, just past 6 o'clock. And just coming into Wellington now. The ferry across the Murray. And it looks like we're gonna just get the ferry again, eh? Passed through Adelaide. I'm on my way to Port Wakefield. That completes another video. It's not as adventurous or as intrepid as some of the others, but had a good break anyway. One thing you can say, it wasn't uneventful. It wasn't uneventful or predictable. Alright, we'll see you. The tunnel's good. The tunnel's good out of Adelaide, isn't it? The new tunnel. We'll see you next time.